Sometimes can showdowns do live up to form. Is that just an example of maybe you are a Spence side now?
Definitely a sign of where the two teams are. I mean, clearly one team's on top of the ladder tonight, I think, and the other team's battling to get to the line each week with a few different reasons, whether they be injury or whether they be performance. You know, and tonight they both come together, and you end up getting beaten badly in lots of fundamental parts of the game.
Did you wave the white flag?
We don't wave the white flag, but I get the question based on the margin at the end. But I think that's just the gulf between the two teams at the moment. And when at this time of the year, when things go against you, it's no one gives up, no one stops trying, but it can look a little bit like that. And it just looks like every mistake's got a bad outcome on it. So people feel the pressure a little bit more.
What concerned you most? Apart from the margin, obviously.
Yeah, not much more than the margin, because the margin was it was in a position where we could do nothing about it. Other than the first quarter, we were never in the game. We were outplayed around the contest, we were outplayed with their method. It was incredibly wet. That again opens up the margin from personnel. I think for both sides, they have top end talent. They have really healthy list, and credit to where credit's due. They exposed us tonight in all areas of the game.
What about work rate?
No, I don't think. I don't sit there and go, if blokes don't turn up and have a crack and don't try, I think, as I said, the game gets away from you, and it can feel really quickly like, geez, not much daylight here. It's tough, and we've just got to try and hang in. And when you try and hang in, you make more mistakes. You get a bit too cautious with everything you do.
Sorry. So how do you stop this now becoming the slide for the last?
Well, our opportunity basically leaves itself in every opportunity you get to play AFL football as an individual first, and then as a collective, means something to you, and that's what it should do to the boys. And to me, it's like, boys, we've got to turn up and we've got to review again on Monday, and we've got to get ourselves reset. So we know that the challenges are coming all the way to the end, but what you've got to do is just show that sometimes you're willing to take on those challenges. And I expect our group, to be like that, and our group to turn back up and want to play much, much better next week, knowing we're going to play another really good side on their deck. But I expect the group to turn up and have that attitude, that's the way they want to be. Not roll over and not concede. You're playing footy, you're playing professional sport. Turn up and make sure you represent your side the best you can possibly do it. Tonight was nowhere near what we want it to be.
You had some moments where you were commanding territory. Why do you think you couldn't make it work on the scoreboard at times?
I think the team we played, it's been a bloody strong team all year. And they've been good in offence and been good in defence. I mean, it's no surprise to me that they were a bit too physically strong for us, and a bit too well drilled at the moment. When you see a team that's got incredible confidence and you see the way they play, it's easy, unfortunately for some, it's easy for people who have watched a lot of footy for a long period of time to see them grow and see their confidence grow. I think they're going to, and I said this leading into the game, I think they're going to be a very, very dangerous team right to the very end of the year.
Have you ever seen anything like Miles Bergman starting the game, kicking in the wrong direction? The opposition felt like a 14 for where the night was going.
I didn't think like that at the time, but as you reflect at the end of the night, you go, well, maybe that was someone telling us what was going to happen. I mean, I have seen it. Clearly, you've seen it happen before. We've all seen it happen where players kick it the wrong way. I'm not sure we've seen it from the first centre bounce straight onto the chest of an opposition forward. Yeah, well, I learn lots, and I live and I learn all the way through this journey. And there's another one I'll add to the book later on. I didn't think that was going to happen in the last showdown.
It was your last showdown tonight,
Correct.
as you know. How do you reflect on, I guess, kind of the great rivalry you've shared with the Crows throughout your time here?
Privileged to have been involved for such a long period of time. I'm just so grateful for that opportunity to be a part of Showdowns. As a Victorian, having come over here a long, long time ago, I did have no understanding of what Showdowns really meant. I leave with a greater understanding, clearly, and an appreciation of how good this event is, and the football world need to see it a little bit more. Not necessarily tonight's, but most of the time that I've been involved. Just amazing contest. Both teams go hard at each other. Both teams respect each other, but like to smash each other if they can. And we got smashed tonight.
How are the players feeling in there, given that it is your last showdown and that is the...
Oh, look at it. My last events don't matter too much, and I don't ever ask my players to feel any burden with that. I think the bigger thing is for them is to keep developing their careers, and that's all I wish, to see them continue to develop as players and want them not to. Clearly, Matt, there'll be they'll think about some of those things at different times, but the reality is, let's push on and make sure we finish the year the right way as a team, and we can represent Port Adelaide the right way. Tonight wasn't that way.
How'd you see Connor Rosie's game? Tough conditions, let alone with a broken hand.
Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job considering. I mean, the hand didn't bother him to a point. Clearly, if anyone's ever played with a broken hand, it can be managed much easier than some other injuries. And to Connor's credit, he was very, very confident right through from the middle of the week till tonight.
Ken, there's always that reaction when you pick Jed McEntee, and he finished up being one of your major scorers tonight. Do you want to just explain what it is that you see in him and why you do pick him? Because there seems to be a lot of constant criticism of your selection of him.
That's why they're not picking him. They've got no idea.
No, but what do you see in him? Because
Brings great effort,
Yeah.
brings great contests, brings the level of commitment to the team and to a task that you want in any football player. You want complete commitment. I don't think we should be talking about an individual here, and I shouldn't have to explain or talk about any of my players why they get picked in an AFL game. Anyone who's ever been picked in an AFL game thoroughly deserves it, and people who don't think that probably have never played.
Precocious injury, was it?
Yeah, give his calf a bit of a tweak, I think. I think that's where it ends, but more took him off. The game wasn't clearly in any shape for us, so when he was hobbling, it was like, well, let's take him off and just make sure, and if there's any, if there's a calf injury, we'll certainly let you know. It'll only add to the list.
Jones as well?
Again, I think Jonesy was a corky, and hopefully that's all it is. But the way the dice have been landing, it might not be that, but let's see.
I know you said before about when I asked the question about work rate, but can there be part of the players' mindset knowing that we have one team obviously chasing what they're chasing, you guys 4 games away from your season?
Matt, the only way I can answer that question again is the same way, is you're in AFL football, you turn up and you work hard and you play hard and you get every chance to perform every game you turn up, and you should represent yourself and the team with absolute, I suppose, confidence, and that you really want to earn your opportunities, and that's the way you play football. You don't give up. You never stop trying. AFL footy, I said it just before, AFL football for players, every game you play, you should honour that game, and you should bring your absolute best, and you shouldn't ever give up. Whether you've got 4 left or you've got 8 left for some teams, you still should turn up and play in the right. And I don't ever question professional players that they don't want to play at their best. Their performances on games clearly can be a bit below their best, like tonight, and that makes you ask that question. But I don't ever question them effort to want to play well.
What do you think are the biggest issues that need addressing before next season?
It's not a now question, I don't reckon. The bigger issues, that's probably a later question, and now it's about what are the issues that we need to address. We need to first of all, need to pick a fit side next week, and we need to make sure that our effort is much better than it was tonight for 4 quarters, not just for parts of the game. Alrighty? Good on you.